Okay, mashallah. I see Brother Sadiq. Mashallah. There's one iPhone guy. I don't know who it is, but someone there, mashallah. Jazakallah khair. Thanks for joining in. So inshallah, we will, as I mentioned before, that we will go over um, this great book is by Hamza Yusuf, The Purification of the Heart. He talks about the different diseases of the heart that we are all in need of. As I think I did mention it many times. So I wanted to go over um, just a chapter, inshallah, tonight, talking about envy, hasad. Inshallah, also I'd like to cover a little bit from the Ihya Ulum al-Din that Imam Ghazali, Hujjat al-Islam, talks about it in his book of Ihya in the third volume. It's Kitabu Dhamm al-Ghadabi wal-Hiqd wal-Hasad, and in the purification of the heart is under, if you look at envy, hasad. The poem verses from 54 to 58, and that it goes all the way till verses 66. So from 54 to 66, that's the poem of Imam Maulud's description of the different diseases of the heart and the cure for it and the symptoms. So basically, inshallah, in each session, we will take one topic and one subject and we'll go over it. We'll talk about the three major aspects of it. The what is that disease, and what are the symptoms, the signs, and what are the cures that are out there, how to cure, how to purify, because that's one of the diseases of the heart. And as we know that the Prophet ﷺ, when he talked about the disease of the heart, in many ways he talked about and explained the way how it works and how does it negatively affect the person. But inshallah, we'll go over just one hadith. We'll start inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu wasallam wa barak ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-ali al-azim. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wa anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilma. So inshallah, we'll go over some of the chapters of the book of purification of the heart, and we will look at some of the diseases and their symptoms and how to purify it. So the Prophet ﷺ said that inna fil jasadi mudghah إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسدت فسد الجسد كله. There's a portion in the heart, there's a small piece of flesh in the person's body, in every human body, and if that goes right, then everything goes right, and if that goes wrong, then everything goes wrong. And be aware, that's the heart. Ala wa hiya al-qalb. So we're talking about the works of the heart, and the works of the heart is very it's a long-term effort, it's a long-term exercise. It's something that you have to keep practicing and keep avoiding and keep doing remedies and keep working on the heart and keep purifying it until the last moment of your life. Just like you have to do wudu for every prayer or every time your wudu breaks. So likewise, internally, these diseases of the heart have to be worked on and have to be remedied and have to be cured and have to be worked on, just like I mentioned the other night on Saturday, as we went over briefly of some of these things. So inshallah, we'll look at hasad, envy. Hasad, what is hasad? What is envy? Hasad, envy, it's to in a short form, in short terms, is to see someone with something that they have, and then kind of feeling that this person should lose it, whether I get it or I don't. So that's basically hasad. That's envy in its kind of, in a nutshell. However, Imam Ghazali, he puts it in a very beautiful four different categories. He said, "Amma maratibu farba," that there are four different types of hasad, of envy. Al-ula, the first, أن يحب زوال النعمة عنه وإن كان ذلك لا ينتقل إليه وهذا غاية الخبث. He says that the deepest and the darkest and the worst type of envy is that the person wants that good to be taken away from the person who is being envied, the envied person, the object of the envy. That person should lose that ni'mah, and even if I don't get it, I just want that thing to go away. I want that person to lose his job. I want that couple to lose their marriage. I just want that bad to happen to that person. Or I want this good that this person has this great job. I want this person to lose his job or her job. Um, those kind of things. Whether I have no interest in for myself. I have no interest in that job. I have no interest in that promotion. So, so he's saying that that's the worst type of hasad. That's the worst type of envy. To envy something of someone about something, and you have no personal interest or gain in it. You just want that harm to happen, or you want that good to be taken away from that person. This is the worst part. الثانية أن يحب زوال النعمة إليه لرغبته في تلك النعمة، مثل رغبته في دار حسنة أو امرأة جميلة أو ولاية نافذة أو سعة نالها غيره ويحب أن تكون له ومطلوب تلك النعمة لا زوالها عنه. He's saying that the second type is that a person doesn't say that he wants that person to lose it, but I want it. أن يحب زوال النعمة إليه, that a person wants that person to lose that thing, or wants to be afflicted with that particular calamity or thing, just because a person has his or her own gain in it. So the first one is that a person has no gain, just wants that person to be afflicted with that, or he has envy with that person. In the second category, the person wants that change to happen. He wants that ni'mah to be taken away. He wants that bounty to be taken away. He wants that person to be envied, but he has his personal gain. I want that thing for myself, right? That person, he got that job. I wanted that job. I was more appropriate for it. I was more qualified. You know, um, it happens in so many aspects of life. The third category, ألا يشتهي عينها لنفسه بل يشتهي مثلها. فإن عجز عن مثلها أحب زوالها كي لا يظهر التفاوت بينهما. A person does not want that thing to be taken away from the envied person, from the or envied object. However, this person wants it for himself. He wants the same. I don't want that thing to be taken away from that person, but I want the same. And if I don't get it, then a person also should not have it. So either it's for both of us, or both of us don't get it. So that's the third category. الرابع يشتهي لنفسه مثلها فإن لم تحصل فلا يحب زوالها عنه. And the fourth one is simply that I want the same for myself, and I'm not interested in that person losing it or not. So he's saying that this fourth category is somewhat excused because a lot of us fall into that category, and it's hard to avoid. You see someone with a nice car, oh, I wanted a car like that. I see someone, having a better house. My neighbor had a better house than mine. I feel that, maybe I should have a house like that. but not necessarily that I want him to lose that house. And I would doubt that I will ever think of that. But I just want that, right? Most of us have that. You see something good, you envy it, you want it, you like it. Um, you know, just liking something, that's not necessarily hasad. But this is the fourth category he's saying, that is ma'fu anhu. That is excuse that a lot of us fall into that category because we don't necessarily want harm for the person who's envied, or the object that is envied, or someone that is envied. Um, so um, so that's just talking about the different types of hasad. And hasad is something real, and it's something that a lot of us and a lot of people actually fall into, that the envy people. And the harm of it, it's multifold. So you harming yourself by envying, because you're in the anxiety, and it's not healthy, it's very unhealthy to get into that hasad. And that's why the Quran, especially the mu'awwadatain, the قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, when we read وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ, and when the envy, when it envies, right? It's not it's not something very simple, or we take it light, because we are saying that hasad is the devil, it's the Satan, it's shaitan. And that hasad occurred um, first from the devil, from Satan, Shaitan, Iblis, when he was ordered to prostrate to Adam alayhi salam. Right from the beginning, it was that envy. Why did he get that status of being prostrated to? Why is he in that state? Why didn't I get that? And Shaitan and Iblis wanted that to be taken away from Adam, and that's why he kind of compared. He went with that comparison, that, look, I am better. This is the reason why I'm better. And that's why I should get that position, not Adam. So that's a very, and that's why some of these scholars, like even Hujjat al-Islam Imam Ghazali, he does mention that this is one of the worst and the root causes of all the disease of the heart, because hasad, envy, you want something to be taken away from someone, you want something bad to happen to someone, and sometimes regardless of whether you get it or not, as the different categories as you mentioned. So um, so we are at war. So that's what Iblis said, that أنا خير من خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. And then he never repented, he never wanted to fix that hasad. That was out of, the reason was, the core reason was kibr, feeling that he is better, kibr, right? Um, However, many of the things that even Imam al-Mawlud that mentions in his poem, Imam Ghazali does also mention that. And perhaps Imam Ghazali, he goes on to mentioning a couple of them, about 7 or 8. However, Imam Mawlud, he does mention just a few. So he mentions the first cause um, that he mentioned is adawa, adawa, enmity, right? He said, Imam Ghazali said that this is the worst cause of envy, of showing envy, of hasad towards other people, adawa, that you just hate, hatred. When you hate someone, that's, you start to envy. You don't care whether you get it or not, or you benefit or whatever. Even sometimes people uh, bear the negative aspect of it, just so that other person also loses, becomes a loser. So that person who's envying, regardless of him also being a loser, he doesn't, or she doesn't feel that, and just wants that person to and this happens a lot. And we need to remedy that hatred. That hatred could be for many reasons, by family relationship, could be business relationship. It could be other, just being in the same area, or or seeing someone um, in being in close proximity. Many of these reasons call this enmity and grudge, ill feeling, just animosity towards other people, and that anger manifests into. And so this adawa, um, harboring feeling of animosity towards another person, that's really terrible. That second part is arrogance, takabbur, just like I mentioned before. Takabbur is arrogance, um, and just he looks down upon people, right? Um, there's a lot of this kibr within ourselves, in our society, in people that just feel they're superior to other people, the superiority uh, of race or gender or any other reason. um, that's the devil. That's the Satan's way of saying, "Ana khayrun min," I am better than him. I am better than Adam alayhi salam. So kibr, and then he mentions one part, ta'azzuz, ta'azzuz, the feeling that one's worth is compromised by the fact that another person has gained more. Just because someone has gained more, you know, that's, my worth is going to be just by that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, um, as the people of Quraysh, why the people of Quraysh, why they did not listen to what the Prophet ﷺ had to tell them? Why did they deny the message? It was not just about denying the message, it was about, wow, why this person who was a yatim, who was an orphan, and now he's receiving revelation. He was the least of the Quraysh, and we are the noble. We are so and so has a higher status than this person. Why is he being given this nobility of prophethood? And just, so that's like ta'azzuz, that I am greater. I am more suitable for that. Um, and then he mentions also, one of the things that he mentions is love of leadership, love of being in leadership, being in a post, being in a state of leadership. It's something that, in our tradition, we don't have this thing that asking for leadership or asking for a position in a higher state. That's not how our tradition works. It's when we are given, then we take responsibility and we take it as a trust. So asking or looking at someone who is in leadership, you know, envying and saying that, I hope this person just loses that job. Someone who became your boss or became more superior to you in work, who got promoted perhaps, and now he is he was a colleague and a co-worker, and now he's kind of like your boss. Is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يُعِزُّ مَن يَشَاءُ يؤتي من يشاء وينزع من يشاء ويؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gives kingdom whoever he wants to give and takes away. And that's why communism is kind of, one of that part that was the anger against that. Why rich people, why certain, level of people have, wealth or have power, especially when it comes to wealth, it has to be distributed among everyone equally. That was not how, in the beginning, in our tradition, Islamic tradition, we had, that the wealth was distributed equally, and there were just a few people who had a lot of wealth. It was not the top 1% owns more than 50% of the in total wealth of the world. That's what how it is now. So the distribution of wealth, so is just, you know one of the things is, the things that Imam Ghazali mentions. One of the reasons khubth nafs is that some people are just not good at holding their emotions. They have khubth nafs. And that's why some of these scholars, even Imam Ghazali in the beginning, he argues that is that something that everybody is born with, the disease of the heart, especially like hasad and those kind of things. Then he says, he argues that it is by nature we have that, and that's why we see that in even children, in kids. And right after that, he even mentions one of the reasons of hasad, of envy, is uh, you know um, with brothers and sisters, with siblings, with peers, people who are just alike you. That kind of hasad is very apparent and very common, and that's why you see kids also have envy. Kids who are not who have not reached the age of puberty, or not shar'an, and not religiously required. Even kids have those kind of tendencies. So to work on them. So how do you remedy them? How do you remedy them? So we talked about what is hasad in different types, and how does it happen, and how do you remedy that? So you said the first thing is that you have to look at it as hasad, as envy, something that it's harmful to your deen and to your dunya as well. Because people who are always envying, they don't have time then to work on themselves and to get ahead and to move on. People keep grudges for a long time. For they're married, and their marriage didn't work out, and now the partner moved on in her or his life, and then just because you couldn't get on with your life, and looking at the other person, that wow, that person, oh, he or she is now successful and now married again, or now has a better job, or you know move on, move on in life. People hold on grudges for such a long time. It only holds one person behind. It will hold you back. So he's saying, Imam Ghazali, he's saying this 800 years ago, al-hasad darran alayka fi dunya wa din. So that's the worldly. There's so many studies out there, that what are the harms are. But one of the harms that affects your deen, your tradition, is that when a person is envying hasad, a person is kind of arguing with Allah, that why did you give that to that person? Why is that person happier than me? Why does that person have more wealth? Or why he has a better uh, uh, marriage? Why does he have a better status? Why is he in that state? It's like as if you're arguing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that why did he put that person in that state? Everything that occurs, or everything that anyone receives, or any state that you're in, is by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if that person that you are now feeling that envy, if you just think like this, that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed that person with, and perhaps he did something good and that's what Allah gave him, or perhaps just Allah wants to test him and Allah gave him that ni'mah, and Allah did not give that to me. uh, you know Hamza Yusuf mentions in his book an interesting story of this Isma'i, talking about visiting this couple in a desert, and being their guest, and the wife was really beautiful and the husband was really ugly. And then when the husband went to fetch some food for the dinner, for the supper, he said to the lady, that, mashallah, you're such a beautiful woman, and how did you end up in this marriage, marrying this ugly man? And uh, she said that perhaps he has done something really good in his life, that he deserved someone beautiful like me. And perhaps, or other way around, perhaps I've done maybe something so wrong that I have given an ugly husband like him. So it's qada'ullah. So to be happy with whatever Allah has decreed for you, and if you see that in somebody else, alhamdulillah. Allah has blessed him. This is a taqdeer of Allah. But the envy goes against that. When you envy someone, when you want that person to lose that good thing, whether I receive it or not, or even if I receive it, I want that, and I want that person to lose on it. That's actually getting angry with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is actually accusing Allah that, oh God, you made a mistake. You were supposed to give that to me. And you gave it to that person. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's why it is very important to ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He protects you from hasad. And one of the effects of hasad is that there is ayn. When a person looks at evil eye, it's a common concept in all traditions, the evil of eye. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-ainu haqqun, a bad eye has an effect. So a person is envying, you also put a bad eye. And some people by nature is just that they have that in them. That when they look at someone, they just cannot resist, and they kind of had that feeling of envy. And then they harm themselves, of course, in the beginning, and also then it goes beyond themselves and it starts to harm that person who are the envied person. And that's why it is very important. It's not just something that you have to purify yourself and remedy it and fix it for yourself, but also so you don't harm other people. And that's why to say the ma'awadatain is very important. And now, just want to close with this part, that because we hear this word envy, I envy that, I envy this and I envy this. These words are used a lot in English, and also in Arabic, the word hasad is used. There's another meaning of hasad, which is called ghibta. And that kind of indicates the fourth category that we mentioned in the beginning. The fourth is one of the things that the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ said, that la hasada illa fi ithnatain. There's hasad, you cannot have hasad, you can have envy, except in two things. A person that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him knowledge and he spreads that knowledge. رَجُلٌ آتَاهُ اللَّهُ عِلْمًا فَسَلَّطَهُ عَلَى هَلَكَتِهِ. That he has given knowledge to that person, and that person is spreading knowledge, is giving knowledge. So you can have envy of a person who has knowledge, that, oh, I want to be like that. And then the second category, the Prophet ﷺ said that رَجُلٌ آتَاهُ اللَّهُ مَالًا, and a person that Allah has given that person wealth, and then he spends all that wealth for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he spends it in good things, and he's spending that money in good things. That's a person that you should envy. Those are the two people that every person should envy. And inshallah, um, hopefully that we can be from those people who always look at good things and just say Alhamdulillah, say Allahumma laka alhamdu wa laka shukr, and to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase them. One of the things that Imam Ghazali also mentions, and also in Mawlud, um, one of the cure is that when you see someone and you feel that envy, you feel that, why is this person? You go and you say something good about that person. And that person will also appreciate that. And also that person in return will also thank you, and also will, make dua for you, I guess, perhaps. And also he might say, or she might say something good about you. So say something good about that person. Um, the other dark side of the envy, because hasad, it takes to start to go into riba, which inshallah we will talk about later, and many other diseases. And that's why right in the beginning, when I said that this is one of the ummahat, the mother of all evils of the heart, or all disease of the heart, it's very powerful, because hasad, it kind of then leads to harming other people in many ways. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us heart that is protected, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us from those people who have sound heart, and that who are protected from hasad. And whenever we fall into one of those categories, that we make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we seek remedy for that, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a qalb salim, in that we obtain taqwa, which is the essence of our fasting of Ramadan, of the recitation of the Quran. And that will boil down to that one word. How do you take care of hasad? Taqwa, fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, we will conclude then with a dua supplication, inshallah. Inshallah, Brother Muzaffar will continue with a dua.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون فتعالى الله الملك الحق لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم ومن يدعو مع الله إلها آخر لا برهان له به فإنما حسابه عند ربه إنه لا يفلح الكافرون وقل رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين فسبحان الله حين تمسون وحين تصبحون وله الحمد في السماوات والأرض وعشيا وحين تظهرون يخرج الحي من الميت ويخرج الميت من الحي ويحيي الأرض بعد موتها وكذلك تخرجون أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار عزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم سلام على نوح في العالمين إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين إنه من عبادنا المؤمنين أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. اللهم إني أمسيت منك في نعمة وعافية وستر، فأتمم نعمتك علي وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إني أمسيت منك في نعمة وعافية وستر، فأتمم نعمتك علي وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إني أمسيت منك في نعمة وعافية وستر، فأتمم نعمتك علي وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك، وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك، وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك، وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك، وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. آمنت بالله العظيم وكفرت بالجبت والطاغوت، واستمسكت بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. آمنت بالله العظيم وكفرت بالجبت والطاغوت، واستمسكت بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. آمنت بالله العظيم وكفرت بالجبت والطاغوت، واستمسكت بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم نبيا ورسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم نبيا ورسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. 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 اللهم إني أسألك من فجاءة الخير وأعوذ بك من فجاءة الشر. اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت. أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت. أبو لك بنعمتك علي وأبو بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت عليك توكلت وأنت رب العرش العظيم. ما شاء الله كان وما لم يشأ لم يكن ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم أعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما اللهم إني أعوذ بك من شر نفسي ومن شر كل دابة أنت آخذ بناصيتها إن ربي على صراط مستقيم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث ومن عذابك أستجير أصلح لي شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي ولا إلى أحد من خلقك طرفة عين اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن وأعوذ بك من العجز والكسل وأعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل وأعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال اللهم إني أسألك العافية في الدنيا والآخرة اللهم إني أسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في ديني ودنياي وأهلي ومالي اللهم استر عوراتي وآمن روعاتي اللهم احفظني من بين يدي ومن خلفي وعن يميني وعن شمالي ومن فوقي وأعوذ بعظمتك أن أغتال من تحتي اللهم أنت خلقتني وأنت تهديني وأنت تطعمني وأنت تسقيني وأنت تميتني وأنت تحييني وأنت على كل شيء قدير أمسينا على فطرة الإسلام وعلى كلمة الإخلاص وعلى دين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وعلى ملة أبينا إبراهيم حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين اللهم بك أمسينا وبك أصبحنا وبك نحيا وبك نموت وعليك نتوكل وإليك المصير أمسينا وأمسى الملك لله والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم إني أسألك خير هذه الليلة فتحها ونصرها ونورها وبركتها وهداها اللهم إني أسألك خير هذه الليلة وخير ما فيها وخير ما قبلها وخير ما بعدها وأعوذ بك من شر هذه الليلة وشر ما فيها وشر ما قبلها وشر ما بعدها اللهم ما أمسى به من نعمة أو بأحد من خلقك فمنك وحدك لا شريك لك فلك الحمد ولك الشكر على ذلك سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته سبحان الله العظيم وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته سبحان الله العظيم وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته سبحان الله العظيم وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته سبحان الله عدد ما خلق في السماء سبحان الله عدد ما خلق في الأرض سبحان الله عدد ما بين ذلك سبحان الله عدد ما هو خالق الحمد لله عدد ما خلق في السماء الحمد لله عدد ما خلق في الأرض الحمد لله عدد ما بين ذلك الحمد لله عدد ما هو خالق لا إله إلا الله عدد ما خلق في السماء لا إله إلا الله عدد ما خلق في الأرض لا إله إلا الله عدد ما بين ذلك لا إله إلا الله عدد ما هو خالق الله أكبر عدد ما خلق في السماء الله أكبر عدد ما خلق في الأرض الله أكبر عدد ما بين ذلك الله أكبر عدد ما هو خالق لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم عدد ما خلق في السماء لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم عدد ما خلق في الأرض لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم عدد ما بين ذلك لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم عدد ما هو خالق لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير عدد كل ذرة ألف مرة لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير عدد كل ذرة ألف مرة لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير عدد كل ذرة ألف مرة اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد مفتاح باب رحمة الله عدد ما في علم الله صلاة وسلاما دائمين بدوام ملك الله وعلى آله وصحبه عدد كل ذرة ألف مرة اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد مفتاح باب رحمة الله عدد ما في علم الله صلاة وسلاما دائمين بدوام ملك الله وعلى آله وصحبه عدد كل ذرة ألف مرة. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد مفتاح باب رحمة الله عدد ما في علم الله صلاة وسلاما دائمين بدوام ملك الله وعلى آله وصحبه عدد كل ذرة ألف مرة. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
There are many people in our community who have requested for dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our good deeds, accept our prayers, accept our ibadat, accept all of our good deeds, our iftar, our suhoor, our qira'ah, our recitation, our listening, our attending of any good act of worship or any good deed. Oh Allah, accept that from us and make it a maqbula, make it a means of rahmah, make it a means of tranquility, make it a means of ease and comfort to the entire world, to all of the people who are around us, to the people of this country and state and town, and to all humanity. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to uplift the situation and to uplift this calamity. Oh Allah, make this a means of rahmah, a means that we learn from, and the means that we come out even stronger, and that we hold on to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we never despair, and we never give up hope, and that we are always optimistic, and we are in reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that we always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ask Ya Allah to keep us connected to that rope, بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها, as we are making this dua every morning and every evening. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for Dr. Suhail Lahir's father, who has been tested positive for COVID-19, and also who has been in a health deterioration situation, and not in good health condition. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for him, give him shifa and give him afiyah. نسأل الله العظيم رب العرش العظيم أن يشفيه. And oh Allah, protect and preserve all those people who are helping and serving and in the process of making other people feel better, and making other people get better health, and those who are in the health department, any department, or in any way volunteering or supporting or helping in any way or any mean. Oh Allah, bless them and preserve them. And oh Allah, reward them for all their hard work and their contribution. And oh Allah, any of those who have requested dua, and those who wanted us to make dua for them, and anything that they have desired, oh Allah, you know their needs, and oh Allah, you know what is good for them. Oh Allah, provide them with the best of this world and hereafter. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give maghfirah to all those who have left this world and went on to the next. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them maghfirah and afiyah. I would like to share a very short supplication, um, in addition to the du'as that we just heard from Brother Mudaffar. These are the du'as of the Prophet ﷺ that we will add on, inshallah, to the regular du'as that we do every evening. Allahumma laka salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati wa ilayka ma'abi wa laka rabbi turathi. That, oh Allah, to you is my salat, my sacrifice, my life, and my death, all for you. Allahumma inni as'aluka min khayri ma taji'u bihi riyah Oh Allah, I ask you from the best of the winds that will bring all the good for us. Allahumma ja'alni u'azzimu shukrak. Oh Allah, make me such that I thank you greatly. وأتبع نصيحتك, and I follow your blessings. وأحفظ وصيتك, and I preserve your advice. اللهم إن قلوبنا ونواصينا وجوارحنا بيدك. Oh Allah, our hearts and our forehead and all of our limbs are in your control. لم تملكنا منها شيئا, and you have not given us any power over them. فإذا فعلت ذلك بهما فكن أنت وليهما. And if you are going to give us the ability to do whatever we would do with our limbs, oh Allah, you be its wali. You be there as a wali, as a protector, as a guide. واهدنا إلى سواء السبيل, and guide us to the right path. اللهم اجعل حبك أحب الأشياء إلي. Oh Allah, make your love the best of the things that I would wish or I would love for. واجعل خشيتك أخوف الأشياء عندي. And oh Allah, make your fear the most of the things that I would fear. واقطع عني حاجات الدنيا بالشوق إلى لقائك. And discontinue all of the needs of this world by going towards you. And if you have made other people happy by their dunya, by their worldly things, وإذا أقررت أعين أهل الدنيا من دنياهم فأقرر عيني من عبادتك. So Allah, make the coolness to my eyes, that will be your prayer. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for siha, for iffah, for amana. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us good health, and He gives us chastity and integrity. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us content with good character, and that we are content with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree. We are accepting Allah's decree, whatever Allah has decreed for any one of us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this day, the 5th day of Ramadan, better than the previous days, and this evening and better than the previous evenings. And oh Allah, make the next coming moments better for us than this moment. And oh Allah, accept all of our good deeds, accept our salah, our siyam, our fasting. And may Allah bless our parents, bless our spouses, and oh Allah, put barakah in the life of our children. And oh Allah, grant them the success of this world and the hereafter. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for tawfiq. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. There's a dua of Ramadan that we should always say, especially as we have a few more seconds. لا إله إلا الله نستغفر الله نسألك الجنة ونعوذ بك من النار. لا إله إلا الله نستغفر الله نسألك الجنة ونعوذ بك من النار. لا إله إلا الله نستغفر الله نسألك الجنة ونعوذ بك من النار. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. جزاكم الله خير for joining.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya alassalah. Hayya alassalah. Hayya alel felah. Hayya alel felah. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah. Esselamu Aleyküm.